What if I told you that the biggest issue that Pathoftitans has isn't the boring fetch quest, or the terrible upgrade system, or the oversized map, but rather the community itself? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm here to explain it to you. I'm Moonlight F, and let's get straight into this video. The role of a community is supposed to be like a human nervous system. Ideally, you want it to give you the information that it's supposed to and do its job properly, but at the same time, you don't want it to be constantly giving you signals even when there's nothing there to react to. And you also don't want it to not react at all when it's supposed to be reacting. The problem with Pathoftitans is that the community doesn't give back the feedback that's necessary for the developers to address and fix the issues within the game. This is the reason why the quest system has still not been thrown out to the side. The quest system is fundamentally a bad system. It needs to be completely discarded or completely revised. There's no other way about it. But yet the community defends it to the end. And to be honest, I think it's because they're fans and they're biased, and so they can't really step away to look at it to see just how bad it is. And that's just part of human nature. So I don't blame that on them too harshly. But the problem is that it gets in the way of the developers being able to make the game better to a wider audience. And that to me is something I do have a problem with. So what's the possible solution to this? Simple. The developers just need to look more towards the people who are being critical of the game, objectively so, not just saying that the game is boring and stupid with no reason behind it, and ignore a lot of the people who are supportive of the game. Now, I know this might seem like a recipe for disaster, but you have to understand that when you're making a game, it's best to look at people who are critiquing and giving valid criticism so that way you can make your game better. If you don't, then you kind of run into the aisle situation where the community is overreactive, throwing so much criticism that's not actual valid criticism. And there is a difference between objective criticism and just insults, and a lot of people get it confused, but there is a big difference between the two. And I'll make a whole video about the IO community and what's the big issue there. But today I want to make it clear why the Pathoftitans game is suffering the way it is. To be completely honest, I know the developers of the Pathoftitans game are the ones that you would most of the time hold accountable for a lot of the issues in the game, and that is fair. But the thing is, the truth behind it is that they honestly might not know. They might not be aware, because I think the community completely filters out all of the negative feedback that they should be getting on the game. I think that the community is like the biggest brick wall to its progress right now, and it's so weird because they are fans of the game and they want to protect this game, but in doing so they are indirectly harming its advancement, and it's just so self-destructive, and it's so weird to be somebody looking on the outside in, to be able to look at it from an objective point of view. It's just kind of a funny situation. I guess the best way I can describe it is kind of like the Call of Duty community, where it's like if you give any valid criticism, they call you all sorts of names that I can't say on YouTube and stuff like that, instead of actually addressing your points, And I don't know, I think that's just something that it happens to every game community to a degree, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try getting through to them, even if it may seem tough at first. I don't know, that's just my take on it. What's your guys' opinion on it? Drop it down below in the comments. I'm always happy to read over and reply to you guys, especially if you make good points. And as always, I'm on your side. I'm Moonlight F.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.